Welcome, Dr. Nithiya.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Our pleasure too. So, tell us, Child Guard Malaysia, how was it formed and what is the objective of this?
Okay, we have started Child Guard Malaysia program in for the past 3 years. We've been running this program. A group of youths, a team of professionals actually, because we consist of lawyer, child psychiatrists, doctors and all this, and also police, decided to form this program to fight against child sexual abuse cases from happening in Malaysia, not only in Malaysia, actually around the world. And our objective is to spread as much as possible awareness to children, to parents and public to fight against these cases from happening, meaning to prevent from happening, as well as to assist the victims when such abuse already happened to the child.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, do you all provide any education in that sense to children or even parents, like to educate them like what you should do?
Yeah, in 2019 itself, we have done talks in almost 32 schools around Malaysia. We spread awareness. So during the talk, right, we will educate the children, also the parents, what is it child sexual abuse, what are the types of sexual abuse are there, and how they can identify the abuser, and what can be done if such thing happen to them. So that's the training and education we are providing to the children.
Okay, coming back to the topic, can you define what is child sexual abuse?
Okay, when an adult performs a sexual contact to a minor,
okay,
so it counts as child sexual abuse.
So contact meaning what kind of contact? I mean, in layman's term, how would you say a good touch or a bad touch?
Okay, if you ask me personally, I don't really believe in good touch and bad touch, because for me, any touch without the consent of the child, or I mean any touch that forced on the child is bad touch. You know, it should not be allowed. Meaning we should not teach our kids they are good touches and all this. You know, meaning besides our own parents, any other stranger should not touch you. That's how we should educate the children.
So do you think Malaysian parents and children have that awareness currently?
As far as this concern, actually they are not really aware of this issue particularly, because they have not provided proper sex education. When such thing happen, they have no idea whether it is sexual abuse or what is that. They still they lost what to do next. They have no idea, and they just keeping it secret, and they just keeping it to themselves.
So we are aware that you have been doing some talks in local schools and all that. Do the schools actually call you, or you actually volunteer and you select the schools?
Yeah, actually there are a lot of NGOs who will invite me, and PIBG or HM also will call and invite me. They will organize the talk and everything, so they will just invite me to interact with the kids. So actually I'm very happy whenever they call me to do the talk, because what happened, every single time after the talk, at least 1 or 2 children will come up to me and share or telling me that this thing happened to them. Okay. So that's the important part of this awareness.
Okay, so it could be either a male or female child.
For now, we are doing only for girls.
Okay.
So we are working on a project. We are doing research that we're going to do it for boys also.
Okay, so does this only apply to the government schools, or do you all also give talks to private schools, international?
To all. If you ask me, children are children.
Yes,
you know, it doesn't matter they are from government schools. It could be anywhere.
Okay, so you have been giving talks to
Yeah.
school and all that. Okay, so I mean, are parents as receptive as teachers?
Yeah, actually, whenever we give the talk, right, actually the teachers and parents, they will get shocked because normally I will give the examples of cases that I've attended, what's happening in country and all this. They're actually not aware of such thing happening, you know. So they will get shocked, and then they will like actually respond to me, and they will really appreciate me for highlighting this issue to them, so that they will be extra alert with their children.
So if a student were to experience sexual abuse, what is the first step do you think that the child should do?
First, of course, we always encourage the kids to speak up. That's the first ever step they have to do. Meaning any person or any stranger that come and touch the child, they have to speak out. Meaning go and tell your mother, go and tell your parents, or anyone until they believe.
So if it is someone that is in the family itself, so won't the child be afraid?
Yes, that's very common, that's very natural, but that is what we are telling, educating the child, the children, to go and tell the mother. The first person that the child will look after is the mother. So then we will educate the mother also to believe your child.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you find it difficult in creating that awareness among mothers?
Not really, because this is something that nobody have highlighted to them, nobody has spoken to them earlier. So when I give them the talk and highlight to them this issue, they actually like receiving quite good, and they are like very responsive.
Okay, so do you think that children who are below 12 are more vulnerable to getting sexually abused, or above 12?
I mean, it depends their maturity level also, their exposures and all this, you know. So minor in our country 16 and below. So it depends their mental state, their maturity level, like whether they can understand the abuse or not. We cannot say like a 16, you know, sometimes there will be like they will consent to the sex act, you know, meaning like when they are in relationship, but they didn't know that it's actually a rape.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what we are educating them.
So when they report, can they report anonymously?
No, they can't, because our PDRM, they need the complainants or victims full details for the investigation purpose.
Okay, so basically after going to the first point of contact, which is the mom or father, then the next point would be the police.
The police, yes, or they can reach out to their close, relatives or neighbors, anybody that they can trust, and they will help the child to go and make a report.
So if besides going to the police, if they come to Child Guard Malaysia, how would Child Guard Malaysia help them in this process?
Okay, no, first of all, we will calm down the victim, because they will be in trauma, they will be like panic situation and all this. So we will say, it's okay, you just remain calm, then we will help you. Meaning the next one, we will assist them to go and lodge a report. So the reporting part is very important. The content of the report is very important. The words, you know. So that's what we will do. We will assist the victim to do the proper police report, and we will work along with the PDRM to follow up the investigation and in court throughout the whole process actually.
So is it a very lengthy process?
It varies on case basis. It depends on how strong is the evidences or statements by the victims and all this. We cannot say it takes a few months or 1 month or 6 months. No, it varies on case basis.
Has there been any cases where the victim launches a report and then they get harassed by the abuser?
No, they actually can't. That's what normally the public or the family members, they will scared of.
Yes.
Something will happen to the child when they decided to report. Actually, our PDRM's job, besides go after the criminals and all this, their job is also to protect the complainants, the victims as well.
So basically, the PDRM would step up and make sure that everything is taken care smoothly and the victim is protected.
Correct.
Okay. So my next question to you is the investigation. Most of the time, has there been cases where the person has been convicted and maybe sentenced to jail or such thing, or it is?
Yeah, of course. Because okay, you see, why Chalga Malaysia we are doing this awareness and talks, because we are encouraging the victims and family members to go and make report. Because if you see in our country, out of for example 1,000 cases, only 10 will be reported. So what will happen to the balance 900? So it will remain unreported. So what will happen according to our statistic, meaning the case is still under control.
Okay.
So the more they come out and lodge report, so the more our PDRM and even our ministry can take a drastic steps to prevent or to fight these cases.
So when it comes to the Indian community, do you think that the awareness is there to actually step up and complain? And my next question is, are there many cases among the Indian community?
Yeah, there are many cases. It's just that child sexual abuse is still like very taboo topic in our society. It's not only Indians actually, it's like we can go from all the other races also. When such thing happen to the child, the family will tend to cover up, because they will say like family image or the future of the child, but what they not realizing is that they letting the abuser run free on the street. Meaning you have protected your child, but the abuser is still out there. He could do the same thing to another child.
Correct.
So that's what we are educating the parents, the family members, come out and report.
So over the years from 2017 to now, has there been an increase of people coming out and making complaints?
Yes, definitely. Even every school that we go, right, like any child that will come up to us to share their story or something, we will convince the parents, go and lodge a report, then the case will go through.
Okay. So once the case is over, I'm sure that when a child at such young age goes through all this trauma, what does Child Guard do to alleviate that trauma and make them get back to their normal life?
Okay, like I said earlier, when the incident happened, like a rape or molestation or anything, so the child will be in very trauma situation.
Yes.
So first thing, we have to calm the child down, okay, and then with the family consent, we will go for the counseling session. So how many counseling session depends on each child.
Does it cost any money?
No. Actually, this whole program, right, we are doing it free of charge. We don't charge the school, we don't charge the parents. Of course, like how much should I charge for the children's life? Because we are doing this solely for children's safety.
Okay. So the counseling, so it depends until the child is out of that trauma.
Yes.
You will have the counseling
Yes,
sessions.
we will teach the kids. First, we will make sure the child come out from the trauma and able to live a normal life back, and also we will guide the child to have a better future and to be an inspiration to other victims.
So in your experience, have you seen any child go through this?
Yeah,
come out successful and
the youngest victim that I'm handling right now, counseling session is going on, is a 5 years old child.
Okay.
And the eldest one, of course, 16 years old. And this one also actually leads to early pregnancy also, meaning they will get pregnant at early age.
Okay.
So we will give counseling to them, and we will make sure they become successful, in future. Actually, it's still going on. We giving them counseling time to time, like every 2 weeks once I will go and see them.
Okay. So do you believe that time heals patients?
Definitely, because being a survivor myself, it took me a long time and effort to come out from it, and now today I'm being a successful lawyer, and I feel it's my duty, my responsibility to safeguard these children from being the next victim.
Okay. So coming to the victims themselves, I believe you did mention that besides children who are with their family, children at shelters are also exposed to this sexual abuse.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yeah, okay. When it comes to child sexual abuse, we can look at it two sides. One, children with proper family structure, and one, of course, in home or welfare homes or shelters. Okay, children with the family structure, of course, they are more easy to handle, meaning they have a family member to support them mentally, you know. But how about the children in shelters and all this? They literally living in that, within that four walls, you know, like outsiders, public, they don't know what's happening inside. How if the sexual abuse happen inside the shelter?
Within the four walls.
Within the four walls. So that's what I'm trying my best to go in the shelter to give awareness also. So I'm proposing some, I'm giving some proposal to Kementerian, so that we can go in all the homes, you know, to the shelters to give this sexual abuse education.
Have you come across any sexual abuse at the homes recently?
Yeah, recently there was a shelter in unregistered welfare home in Selayang. The case is going on now. Since whenever the matter is going on in court, we should not comment on the case, but I can brief on the fact of the case where the children, the boys, they're actually being sodomized and sexually abused by the caretaker and all that. So finally somebody, you know, exposed through social media, it went viral. So I get involved, and now the case is going on and the caretaker been arrested. So the case is going on, so we are hoping for the best.
So what happened to the children at that home?
Actually, some of the children, they have family, they have parents actually, but the parents, they unable to, they are like financially
Not
stable to take care of the children, so they have left in the shelter.
I
So
see.
currently the children under the parents' care temporarily.
So in terms of the government's intervention, how does the Kementerian support Child Guard Malaysia, and what are the government bodies that are actually supporting you in this?
Okay, actually PDRM is doing great job. They are really supporting our cause, and Kementerian, of course, they have requested us to talk more about talian kasih. I feel quite a lot of people, even public, they're not aware of this talian kasih provided by the Kementerian Pembangunan Wanita. They can contact talian kasih at 15999, and they can tell the incident happened. If let's say they reluctant to go to police, they can talk
So
to
this
somebody.
is specifically for child abuse?
Children and women.
Women, okay.
Yes. So any domestic violence cases also, they can contact this talian kasih. Instead of going to police first, they can contact this Kementerian, and then the Kementerian, they will guide them how to do the procedure and all this.
Okay, so if anyone wants to contact you, what would be the right channel to get in touch with you?
Okay, they can contact my phone number, Child Guard Malaysia number 014-3711-533, or they can visit my Facebook page, Child Guard Malaysia. I have all the updates there, or they can follow my Insta page, lawyer_Nithiya. So they can private message me there if they want to reach me.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Nithiya, for joining us, and I'm sure that this is definitely going to reach out to the public, and we hope that the number of cases drops and it creates the awareness that it should. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Actually, my goal is not to reduce the number of cases, it's actually to stop.
Yes, correct. So thank you.
Thank you.